guys, well, before we get stuck into this episode, let me quickly bring you up to speed as to where we're at. Interior's basically done, the engine's in, and this whole episode is purely going to be about getting this motor running. Now, we haven't heard it run yet, and right now I've got to get it started. So everything's got to happen because we've got the car show in November where this has got to be there, and I want to drive it. I don't want to just trailer it in. Now, we're sitting in at about early July 2022, so we don't have a huge amount of time. It is winter. It's what we call garage season. So this is when you work on cars. I want to be inside watching State of Origin footy, but I'm going to be out here doing this. So let's do one thing and one thing only, get it running in this episode. And to do that, let's hit the music. Everything's connected up. I think everything's done right. I'm just going to go and have a crack at seeing if I can start it. I'll put some fuel down the carby. I'm hoping it's going to go. So as you can see, it's dead cold. I have not started this at all. Look, I'm touching the exhaust. I have no idea if it's going to work or not. My fingers are crossed. Let's go. It started. Did you hear it? No pipes. I am literally speechless. I haven't even put the pipes on. Look, I've got them made up, but I haven't even put them on yet. I would have thought that would have given it a bit of back pressure. Righty. Oh, so I've just taken a quick 5 minutes to digest what had happened. 10-year-old motor, never been started for 10 years. Didn't know if the compression was going to be good, bad or ugly. I did all the right things and it started, and man, it sounds like it's got some life to it, which is awesome news. We still have a long way to go. So tonight, that's it. You've got to know when to hold and when to fold. And tonight, we're done. More tomorrow. Okay, so it's the next day, and as you can see, we've got the truck running, and it at least runs, but it doesn't run for a long time. So what I've got to now do is make it a little bit more permanent. And to start off, I've actually got to get this fuel pump working. So I've got myself a couple of really cool things to fit inside. I've got a switch for the fuel pump, that's going in, but I've also got some other really cool stuff as well I'm going to show you. I've got some charging ports. Doesn't sound like much that I'm showing you charging ports, but to a 15-year-old girl who's got mobile phones, these charging ports are absolutely cutting edge in a truck like this. I've also got some new battery cables as well. I'm going to fit those. I've also got a battery cutoff switch. I'm going to fit all that up under the dash, so it's going to have a really cool trick way of turning the truck off, which I think that is really cool. So they're going to be fitted. I also found this. So the gauges on the dash inside the factory truck here are all VDO. And they're awesome gauges. They're really good. They'll clean up really nicely. They've got chrome surrounds. But have a guess what? In my stash of parts, I managed to find. Can you see that? Can you see what that says? That is a VDO tachometer. Now, it only goes to like $6,000. So this thing's only ever going to rev out to about maybe 4 if I really lean on it. So if this is a VDO tacho, I'll be able to put that like on the column. So it has that really cool sort of tacho on the column type look, which is, I think, always awesome in a truck like this, and it will light up and it will match. But what the truck doesn't have is one of these. It's a Nava, I don't know if you can see that, it's a Nava fuse box. This truck actually doesn't have fuses in it. Everything's sort of hardwired and just hope for the best and heavy duty. I'm going to be putting in some, some bits and pieces like radios and things like that. So I need a fuse box. So I'm going to put a main fuse box underneath. Only has 4 fuses in it. I'm not going to run many things on it, but that's going to allow me to run, the fuel pump switch, just safely, so there's no fires and smoke and crazy crap like that. So I also have some fun things to fit to the truck, but I'm not going to give you an update on what those are yet. I'm going to maybe put them in and then I'll surprise you a bit later on. Needless to say, it's going to be really bespoke inside here, really one-off, and that's what this truck's all about. And I'm really hoping these new electrical things make it a little bit more reliable and easy to start. So let's crack into it. As you can see, the front end of the truck is starting to come together. We're starting to hang the panels. And as we're starting to hang the panels, we get to have a good look at what the front of the truck's going to look like with that lovely patina all the way through it. But something's not sitting right with me. Something that just doesn't work right. I've had a look at a lot of these AT4s, these Dodge trucks, and they all look the same. And when they were red, they came with really white headlights and grille and all that sort of stuff. And don't forget, I'm going to have that bonnet, and it does have that little chrome flash on it, but this just doesn't scream rat rod or a little bit of tough truck. And I think I need to give this a bit of a treatment, because if you remember with our Chrysler and Valiant, I did a little bit of a makeover at the front of it in regards to headlights and bits and pieces, and it gave the car a whole new look. And I think we need to do this with the truck. So what I'm proposing is, unlike some of those other trucks online, what I think I might do is I might actually paint these black. The headlight surrounds black. I might also paint this section here that's white black, and potentially this strip up through here black, to give it a bit of a grille sort of a look, because don't forget the radiator behind here is going to be black as well. Then you'll have that chrome badge, you'll have some red, you'll have the bonnet and the scoop, and I think that's going to be enough just to set this truck off from all the other AT4s that are out there. And certainly when it's lowered with the rims and all that, I think it's going to give it just a little bit of something. But I do have a trick up my sleeve when it comes to painting this. If you have a bit of a look here, you notice it's got a bit of surface rust on this part of the truck. You won't see this bit because that'll be underneath the headlight covers, and the headlight covers are the same. You can sort of see they've got that patina all the way around them, and they need to be straightened out a little bit as well. But it's all that patina and all of that mother nature that we don't really want to get rid of. In fact, we want to keep it. So if I paint this black, I'm going to have to do it in keeping with this here. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to give it like a light coat of black, just enough to colour it up. Then I'm going to leave this outside in the weather, and the rust should come through that paint, and the painted area should be black and the rusty area should be rusty. So it's probably going to take me about, I reckon, a week and a bit to achieve that. So let's get marinating. You absolutely have to love it when you're painting something and you run out right at the last spray. Done. That can's toast. But have a look at what we have now. We have got our headlight surrounds painted with a light coat. They're all done. And over here, already marinating, is our front grille. And I think you'll also agree that black is really starting to bring out the red. So from here, I'm going to leave this sitting here for a week, week and a half, out here in the sky. And with any luck, it's going to marinate to absolute perfection. All right, well, there's an old saying when it comes to building any vehicle that the wheels make the vehicle. You know, you can have a really cool Tirana, but if you've got stockies on it and the thing makes 1,000 horsepower, if that's the look you're going for, hey, more power to you. But for me, I've seen a number of different times where we've changed the wheels on a vehicle and it's made a huge difference to the way the car looks, and nothing more different than with this Dodge truck. And when we first started building this, it was going to be a bit of a rat rod truck, and these factory steel wheels we thought we could use in a similar way to that truck Moonshine. You remember that truck that we talked about was the inspiration? Putting those big high diameter tyres on the back and lower diameter on the steel wheels, paint them up, big white walls, that was going to be our look. But when we looked into it a little bit further, these actually have an 8-stud pattern on them, which is some really crazy random thing that only certain vehicles will allow you to take them off of. These particular 8 studs are exactly the same as early F100, F250, and also some Chev trucks as well. And I was lucky enough to find a set of rims, because cars go through different builds, and sometimes that final look that you're after doesn't happen until a little bit further down the track. And with this particular truck, it's going to go through a couple of different builds. And for stage 1 of the build, what we're going to do is we're going to pay homage to that blue truck, the blue truck that we had to sell when Ruby was born. And when I got that had a Sunraysia type rim on it, but it also had a very special white leaded tyre on it to give it that NASCAR truck. Well, I've got some good news. We've found some rims. I have managed to find a set of these. These are 15 by 7s. I also have a set of 15 by 8s. They are the correct 8 stud, and as you can see, they're currently red. Well, we need to turn them black. But in doing so, when we turn them black, we also need to find the right tyre. And the right tyre choice for this particular truck is hard, because I'm going for that Goodyear Eagle look on the race cars, like the NASCAR. So if you ever remember, they have a gold writing on them. Well, I'm not going to be able to do the gold writing, but I will be able to do something similar. So the nearest thing is on that blue truck was a Desert Jeweler. Now, very old school tread pattern, but they do look like a big fat tyre when they wear in a little bit. And they're getting very, very hard to find. I can tell you how hard I've been looking, and I'm finding them very hard. But what I'm looking is also for that sort of rake look. If you remember, Moonshine has the rake look, and he's done it through the tyres. I'm looking for the same. With the Desert Jewelers, I've been busy. I have actually found a set of Desert Jewelers. Now, these came off of a Hilux, and they are what's called a 9R15. Now, I want 10.5 Rs for the back. So they'll be 1.5 inches taller on the back, smaller on the front, and they should rake things up. Now, got these ones for the front, and I'm not going to give too much away, but I have got a bit of a surprise to show you. Come with me, have a look on the other side. All right, now you're starting to get a bit of a look for what we're after for this truck. It really is starting to come together quite well. And once we get a tray up the back, it's going to look awesome. This particular tyre, though, on that rim is a 10R, not a 10.5. So the height of it is not where I need it to be. But what you can also see is look how much deeper those rear 15 by 8s are to the 15 by 7 fronts. They have come up an absolute treat. And when you look down the side of the body, you can see they really do come out of the truck quite well. So when we put the guards on them, it's going to look awesome. And you can see the brake drums are almost sticking out the back of the rim. And when you have a look at the original steel wheels over here, they are very, very conservative. And look how far they come in. So on the grand scheme of things, I think this is going to work and work really well. And it is also going to give the truck a killer look. All right, guys, well, as I start to look to fit this, which is the brake master cylinder booster, just above the alternator at the front, that's going to be the end of the episode. So we're going to wrap things up here. We're really going ahead and leaps and bounds. I can't wait to get all these front panels on and really start to put the bonnet on and really make it look like a complete truck. The rims and tyres, I think, are just going to set this thing off. It's going to look really cool. Our list is looking pretty good as well. We're starting to get there, and a few more bits and pieces, and we can get back into the interior, because I've got a whole heap of really cool stuff. I can't wait to show you what's going on there. And also, I've got a plan for that rear tray. If I can't find a tub, I'm going to do something with the rear tray, and hopefully you guys will think that's pretty cool. So do us a favour, hit like and subscribe on the video if you are enjoying these videos and you want to see more. And also throw us a comment. We love a comment. It gives us a lot of enthusiasm and excitement for the build, and really pushes along. And we like to reply to you guys as well. So give us some advice and guidance, or just some good old-fashioned inspiration with a nice comment. See you next time. Hope you're enjoying the build so far.